My STI has gone from salvage to back on the streets, with just a few things left to do. We should be able to get this thing done by the end of the video. So let's get right into this. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back in the garage with the white VA to finish this thing up. Got some parts here at the house and we have a few coming in the next few days. So we should be able to get this thing on the road and driving. I have some new headlights in the house, probably the 8th set I bought at this point. But hopefully we'll get those slapped on and they work just fine and we can eliminate that issue. So I'm gonna run in, grab those, and we'll start getting the front end torn apart, get those replaced. So the issue with this headlight is that the LED is dead and you can't just replace it like a normal bulb. It's integrated into the headlight, so without tearing it apart, you can't really replace it. So we're gonna slap on a new headlight and hope that fixes it. And well, it did. So now I'm gonna move over to the other side, get that one swapped out. Now this one was perfectly fine, but I do wanna have a matching set, so we're gonna swap it out anyways. Now that we have headlights again, I'm gonna move on to the power steering pump. I have a new used one here that I'm gonna replace this one with. If you guys remember in the last video, not sure exactly if that one's working as it should. In the car, the feel of the wheel doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna pull that out. We'll replace it with this guy that I have down here. Now this is, like I said, a new used one. The little nose on the top is broken off, so we'll swap it over from the last one. But this one should be good otherwise. When this car was in the wreck, the power steering reservoir got absolutely shattered and probably ran the pump dry then because we were driving the car in and out of the shop without power steering fluid. So wore on it then, and then after we found out there was a leak in the hose, ran it dry again. I probably didn't bleed it right. You're not really supposed to start the car before you turn the wheel a few times. So yeah, probably self-destructed that pump. Oh, and I didn't tighten it down, so that probably didn't help either. So we're just gonna get that swapped out real quick. It's not too big of a job, and then we'll bleed that one correctly. All right, old pump on the left, new pump on the right. We got to get this little tube off here, transfer it onto this guy. Hopefully I got a new O-ring that'll fit, and then we can get this pump in the car. I've also gone ahead and cleaned up all the ATF that leaked onto the block and the timing cover, so we have a nice clean slate to work with when we get that ready to go. New pump is now installed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the cap off on this, and without starting the car, I'm just gonna turn the ignition on, turn the wheel back and forth quite a few times, and hopefully that will push all the air up to the reservoir. Then we'll let that kind of settle for 10 to 20 minutes, and then we'll do the same thing again, make sure we got all the air out, and then we'll start the car and make sure everything's working properly. So as I turn the wheel, you can watch the fluid level in the reservoir rise and eventually fall as all the air gets pushed out of the system. So we'll do this a few more times, and once we're confident that all the air is out, there's no more air bubbles, we'll go ahead and add some more fluid. Now that I added a little bit of fluid, what I'm gonna do now is repeat the process, turn the wheel left, turn the wheel right a few times, see if we get any more air out. If not, I'll go ahead and unplug the crank sensor, and I'm just gonna turn the car over, like maybe 2 to 3 times. Make sure that our fluid level doesn't drop too much, make sure there's no bubbling, no air, and if that looks good, we'll plug the crank sensor back in and fire it up. Continuously check, make sure we don't run the pump dry, because I think that was our issue with the last pump. Pretty sure once that thing runs dry, it doesn't take long till it is permanently damaged. So yeah, let's run it. Seems as if the power steering pump is good to go. I did top the reservoir back off, ran the car, made sure there was no more air coming out, and everything looks good. To be honest with you guys, it doesn't feel much different than the last pump, so I'm not even sure if the other one was bad, but either way, we got a new one in here, and we can keep the other one as a spare, because I'm sure at some point in my life I'll probably need it. Now, I was able to get a set of real Brembo brakes for the car. However, both rear calipers had the bolts broken off inside. So I set it in the vise and used the entire caliper as leverage to get these things out. I was being extremely careful not to break the bolt off closer to the hole, and after a little while, I was successful. Now, after pulling these out, I was totally expecting them to pull all the threads out of the caliper, but to my surprise, they really didn't. I think what I'm gonna do is take a tap, clean out the threads in the caliper the best I can. We'll put it on the car, see if it'll hold a torque. If it holds a torque just fine, then I'm not really worried about it. If not, there's a few options. You can helicoil it, you can time cert it. I do have a helicoil kit here. I don't have a time cert kit, so we'd have to order that if need be. But I honestly think it'll hold a torque just fine. So I'm gonna try that first and see what happens. And a few minutes later, here we have our 4 new calipers. Now, these came with pads already in the calipers, but they also came with a brand new set of pads as well. So I have an idea. These rotors are a little bit rusty just from sitting for so long. So I'm gonna run those pads on the rotors, see if we can clean them up a little bit, and if it works out, then we'll put the new pads in the calipers, and we'll have a fresh brake system for the most part. Passenger rear and passenger front are now done, so I'm gonna swing over to the other side, knock those 2 out, and then we can check caliper install off the list. Bada bing, bada boom, we got brakes, baby, no issues. Well, it's a new day, and you guys know what that means. We got some more parts. Today we got some BC Racing coilovers for the car, and every day this week we've got some goodies, pretty big goodies for the car. Yesterday we had brakes, today we got coilovers, and tomorrow, well, you guys can probably guess what it is. A bit of a funny but unfortunate story with the coilovers is, if you look over here, got another set, and these are actually in really, really good shape. Got these on Marketplace for a really good deal. Was told they were a different part number than they actually are. These are actually for a 17 to 23 Impreza Sport or Base, which have different size knuckles, different spring rates, just a completely different coilover than what we need for the STI. So if anyone has a 17 to 23 Impreza that they want to slap these on, let me know, and I'll give you a great deal on those. But I did find another set of used BC coilovers, not in as good a shape, but definitely got a really good deal on these as well. So I think we'll do the same thing as the brakes. We'll start front right, move to the rear, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So these should be pretty easy to put on. The cool thing is they already came off an STI, so they might even be spaced exactly how we need them. But yeah, let's get them on, and then once we actually get the car on the ground, we can adjust ride height and all that. I have to jump in this video real quick and confess a mistake I made putting these coilovers on tonight. I don't know if I was just tired or not thinking or what, but I want to tell you guys so you guys don't make the same mistake I did. I went and did the driver's side first off camera to get that done, and what I didn't think about is the tension that it's gonna put on the sway bar when I go to do the passenger side, because if I have the shorter coilovers on the driver's side and the longer factory struts on the passenger side, it's going to add a lot of tension. So when I go and loosen that front strut, you guys are gonna see exactly what happens. And I don't know why I didn't think of that. As soon as I pulled the bolt out of that front strut, I knew there was something up, but just, I don't know, wasn't all there, tired, wasn't thinking, and yeah, you'll see, but we'll roll the clip. Anyways, when you go to do coilovers, I highly recommend taking both fronts off and put both fronts on. Don't do like one at a time. Take both front struts out and then put both new front coilovers in. That way you're not adding tension on your sway bar. So yeah, you're welcome. Since the sway bar was bound up, these bolts had a lot of tension on them, so when I knocked the bottom one out, my strut went right through my CV axle boot. Well, I don't know if I'm just tired and need to go to bed, or maybe it's the heat in here with all the humidity just getting to me, but this side of the car fought me way more than the other side. The other side went really smooth. This side, you guys saw up front, as soon as I pulled the bolt out of that knuckle just shot up and my strut went right through the CV axle boot. So that's good. Gonna have to get a new one of those. And then the rear fought me as well. So it is what it is. They're in, and yeah, just a little bit extra work to do now. I do have to go around and tighten up the bottom collars, just make sure everything's tight. And then once we get wheels on it, we can adjust as needed. But yeah, now we just gotta do CV axle boot and this front right tie rod boot as well. I'll probably just put a new tie rod end on it. That's been torn since we got the car. So yeah. Next up, let's get these brakes bled. Because I'm a one-man show, I'm gonna be using this Motive power bleeder. I've had really good luck with this thing, so hopefully won't have an issue today. Remember, we had the ABS module off, we had all the calipers off and replaced, so we've got quite the bleed job to do. So I pump this thing up somewhere around 12 to 15 pounds, and then I start at the caliper furthest away from the master cylinder. On this car, it's the passenger rear, so we're just gonna start with the inner nipples and then move to the outer and get all the air out of the calipers. When we're all done, I release the pressure from the power bleeder, and then I'm just going to top off the system with fluid and replace the cap. Then I can stomp on the brake and make sure we have a firm pedal. Oh yeah. Sweet. Besides that CV axle, she's ready to drive. So with that said, let's replace this CV axle. Old CV is now out. You can see the tear in the boot right there. Now, typically I would just replace the boot and we'd be good to go. However, because this CV was on the wrecked side of the car and I never replaced it, I figured might as well just slap a spare in there, and that way we know for sure it's good to go. So let's get this one in and then we should be good as far as the axle goes. CV axle is now in, and I also went ahead and pulled off all the 3 rain guards because one was missing, and I pulled off the 1 side skirt extension because, again, the other one is missing. So now the car is even on both sides. We are going to get some new rain guards. We're going to get this all cleaned up. But last few things we need to do before we get this on the ground, we can get these little guys in, we can get these guys in, and then we can reveal the wheel set that we're putting on here. Now that those guys are on, it's time we've been waiting for. These are the wheels we're going to be running on this car. These are a set of NK Triumphs, I believe. 18 by 9.5 plus 38. The only thing I don't have for them yet is the hub-centric rings. They'll be here tomorrow, but we can get them on for now and get this car on the ground. So super excited to see what these look like on there with it lowered on the ground. I personally haven't seen it yet. So yeah, let's get them on. Well, gosh dang, guys, that looks so freaking good. Now, the rear is a bit high because if it goes down anymore, the alignment's going to be so far off, we probably wouldn't be able to drive it. So until I get adjustable rear lower control arms and adjustable tow arms, we're going to leave it there, but front is pretty dialed. And yeah, looking around the car, dude, these things look actually really good. Now, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't gonna go with silver wheels. I was gonna go with a set of bronze wheels. You guys know I love my bronze wheels, but I kind of let the girl pick these things, and I don't mind them. You know, they weren't breaking the bank. They look good on the car. Yeah, I'm happy. But to see this car sitting on its own weight in the garage, not absolutely destroyed up front, is so freaking cool. Besides the frame and paint work, everything was done right here in my 2-car garage. So I think it's time we get this thing cleaned up, get all the dust off it, and drive it outside so we can see it out in the sun for the first time. There is, however, a few things I want to add to the engine bay. It's completely stock. I want to leave it that way for now, but there are a few little details we can add, and I have them right over here on the table. This is pretty much the entire JDC catalog minus a few things for the STI. We got alternator cover, radiator stays, every cap under the engine bay, and every single bolt and nut that can be seen with the eye under the hood. So all that's gonna get replaced. I decided to go bronze with all of this stuff. It's kind of like a very light bronze, almost a gold. I really freaking like it. So let's get all this unpacked. We'll get some gloves on because John will kill me if I install all this and get it covered in fingerprints. But yeah, let's get it on. I want to see this so bad. Wow, this is so cool to see this car actually take shape. Engine bay is pretty much complete. Body is pretty much complete, minus a few little tweaks we still gotta make. This thing looks so freaking good. I'm so pumped. And now it's time, get the hood down and get this thing outside. I'm gonna try to take this thing for a drive. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my brakes don't feel too promising. They're stiff, but there's not a lot of power there. So we'll see if we can break them in as we drive. If not, might have to come back and figure that out. Oh yeah, my brakes are not really there. Let's see, take it around the block. Oh yeah, no brakes. Let's see, brake. It's like just nothing there. Oh yeah, there's the ABS light. All right, we're gonna have to take it back and figure that out. I made it home safely. I think our problem's in the ABS module. We had that out of the car, so more than likely there's air in there. And the best way to get that out is with a scan tool. So I have a buddy bringing me one of them fancy scan tools on Monday, and hopefully we can properly bleed the system, and that'll take care of our brake issues. But on a side note, I didn't build this car for me. I built this car for one of you guys. That's right, Panzerbuilt giveaway number 2 is now live. So if you want to get in, panzerbuilt.com, every $5 spent is one entry, and you might be taking this thing home. So over the next 30 days, while this giveaway is running, I'm going to perfect this thing, make sure it's absolutely 100% good to go for the next owner. And yeah, it's going to be one heck of a machine. So I'm excited for this. 70,000 mile, clean STI, freshly redone engine, freshly redone entire car. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. I'll start filming again once we get that scan tool and we can finish dialing this thing in. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace out. See y'all later.